I want to focus on the news that we just led into you with, some of the changes at HHS. How is that impacting your company? And just generally, how do you see it as someone who was once, the leader of a country overseeing not only the government, but also the healthcare there?
Yes, thank you, sir. I have joined recently for the second time the board of Ondine Biomedical. And my desire to be on this board is to advance the steady wave treatment, the only proven solution in the world that reduces hospital-acquired infections, HAIs, which represent the second largest cost of healthcare after the provision of care itself.
Okay, Mr. President, I promise we're going to get to your company and some of the things going on in your company. But I want to ask you about this U.S. news with HHS first. So I know your company, right now you can't give your treatment here in the U.S. So if you don't mind, let's just start with the U.S. Just what are your views on what's going on at HHS? Obviously, there's a lot of Mexican citizens that come to the U.S., a lot of Americans that go to Mexico. What are your thoughts about the changes to this panel that make some key recommendations specifically related to vaccines?
It's not really related one thing to the other, because we're talking here something that is very humane, something that is very important and absolutely indispensable for worldwide attention, because there's a lot of dead people because of these infections coming out of a hospital. It's thousands and millions of lives worldwide. It's well over 100,000 lives in the United States and in Mexico. So we have to tackle this important issue as soon as possible. And Ondine is the only company that has this such an advanced methodology to attend the infections in all hospitals in the world.
One other question I want to ask you about are tariffs, and I promise we're going to get to Ondine in just a second.
Yes.
What's your view of the tariffs that Mexico is facing right now and just the impact on trade? And also, I'm sure you have some insight on this as well. Do you think these tariffs have changed the nearshoring strategy of many global companies that have started building facilities in Mexico and doing greenfield developments there, building brand new facilities with the idea of getting access to the U.S. market?
It's, of course, affecting all corporations in the world, and specifically affecting trading. And I would like to remember this great economist that came out with the modern economic system, and it's based on trading. Trading creates wealth. Trading is a win-win situation. Trading brings products to the consumer at a much lower price, and the interchange is just clearly a win-win situation. This is why I believe that on this case, we're going the wrong way, because the best benefit to United States, which President Trump is trying to bring in, this prosperity shared by all citizens in the United States, is going to be affected, because prices will go up, because inflation will go up, and because all products are going to be limited to come to United States. The problem is exactly the same for all countries and all economies in the world. And Mexico is part of that. And of course, it's going to affect the development of the country and the development of the economy and the corporations that have been placed in Mexico to gain competitiveness. But anyway, we're preparing our own strategy in trying to survive with this tariff being applied unilaterally. And as I said, the case is that it's of no benefit, nor to United States, nor to Mexico, and nor to our trade agreement.
So, President Fox, I do want to ask you about Ondine Biomedical, where you are a board member. You have a Steriwave treatment that you say can treat hospital or infections that you get in the hospital. I want to ask you, because we kind of alluded to this earlier, can this treatment also treat COVID and COVID infections?
Well, not. It's not the purpose, but it's a very similar methodology. What you have here is a device, very small device, is the size of two fingers that you bring into your nose. You put it there for a minute or slightly more than a minute, and you're totally disinfected. And so when you do that to the patient that is coming to a hospital or a patient that is going through surgery, you're absolutely guaranteed that there will be no infections. Same thing is important to do with doctors, with nurses, and all the personnel in a hospital. With this, the hospital itself is also prevented from being infected. And that will save hundreds of millions of lives worldwide. And so it's that important that we begin implementing this system, and specifically in United States. I think President Trump should be very attracted to use this through his health system, through his Minister of Health, Senor Kennedy, and be able to save so many lives within United States. It's already an FDA issue. It's already in the process of being approved, same as it has been done to most countries in the world, like in Europe, in Latin America, in Mexico itself.